Mi sono emozionato troppo anche a sto giro. Vanessa è certificata health coach, aiuta le persone a migliorare e a scegliere la giusta alimentazione per supportare al meglio lo stile di vita. La possiamo e la potete seguire tutti nel suo blog, nel nostro sito Juice Plus, e oggi ci illuminerà, d'immenso, no? Ci illumina su perché il cibo è importante. Per cui un grande applauso alla nostra coach Vanessa Gatelein. Ciao.
Microfono. Sì.
Bueno. Hi, everybody. Hello. I am so happy to be here with you today. It's really an honor and a pleasure. My name is Vanessa Gatelein, and I am a health coach. And I think that we're actually in the same business. It's our job to get more fruits and vegetables inside of people so that they can feel really good and be healthy. So I want to start out with an idea, which is actually the name of my company. And it is Food Changes Everything. Because I really believe that when you're eating good food and taking good care of yourself, your life can be completely different. And I want to tell you a story about this with one of my first clients. His name is Andrew, and he's from London, and he is a man's man, right? He goes to the pub almost every night, drinks his beer, eats steak, and plays rugby. But the thing is, Andrew was about to have a heart attack, and his doctor told him if he didn't clean up his act, that he would have to start taking medicine. And he said, look, I don't want to take medicine. Can you please just give me 3 months to figure this out? And so he called me up and he said, look, Vanessa, I got to turn this around right away. Otherwise, I'm headed to die. So I said, great, I'm your girl. I'm going to help you do this. But then he said, I have 2 conditions. I said, what's that? I'm not going to stop drinking alcohol, and I'm not going to stop drinking meat. And then I almost died. Because normally, when you have a high cholesterol problem and about to have a heart attack, those are the first 2 things that you would stop eating and drinking. But nevertheless, I said, look, I'll take this challenge on. Let's figure this out. And so what we did is every 2 weeks, we made one simple change. We started out with oatmeal and apple for breakfast, which he did for 2 weeks. Then we added in 5 fruits a day. And I said, look, I don't care what you're doing at the pub. I don't care how many steaks you've eaten this week. Just eat your breakfast and eat those 5 fruits. So we did that. Now we go on to the next 2 weeks. I said, good. Now we add in the exercise. Because when you're doing some exercise, you're cleaning out your body and cleaning out your blood, which is really going to help that cholesterol to get out. And to my surprise, he actually followed through because I allowed him to have his steak and drink his beer with his buddies. Then I said, let's add in some leafy greens. And he laughed at me. He said, what? I don't even know what a leafy green is. Can you tell me what that is? I said, sure, it's salad. And he wasn't really sure, how do I start eating salad? So I looked at his food diary, and I noticed that he had a ham sandwich every day for lunch. And I said, look, let's upgrade your sandwich by taking a handful of rucola and stuffing it inside that sandwich. And there you go, you have your leafy green. And every evening with your dinner, just have a little tiny salad. Nothing big, not a salad, just a little salad. And again, to my surprise, he followed through. He actually did the change. We then went on to clean up his snacks and we added some really good water. So basically every 2 weeks, he had one change to make, and he made it happen. So at the end of the 3 months, he went back to the doctor. And I have to tell you, I was really, really nervous because he was one of my first clients, and I wasn't sure this was going to work because he was still drinking. He still had a lot of stress at work. He was still eating meat. How can this really make a difference? But you know what? After that 3 months of making these changes and adding in good food, he cut his cholesterol in half, and his good cholesterol went up. He lost 3 kilos, and he said, you know what? I'm feeling really, really good. And so my message by saying this is that we often focus on taking things away, right? And so if I told him, look, you have to go vegan, you have to take out all meat, all your milk, all of your yogurt, he never would have stuck with that. That's not sustainable. But when you can add in really good food that lets your body heal, that really gives it the stuff it needs to do what it needs to do, your life can be completely different. Not sure if this says what it says. Yeah, that's it. So the second idea I want to share with you, so first is food changes everything. The second thing is that everything is food. Just think about that for a second. Think about when you go out with a good group of friends and you have some nice, beautiful food and a glass of wine, and you're just laughing your ass off and really enjoying that moment. You walk away from that night feeling completely alive and really picked up. And then you can compare that to being at work or hanging out with that friend that's really negative and you're just complaining and complaining. You're like, oh my God, I gotta get away from this girl. And your energy just gets totally sucked out. And so I know that one of my clients are having a challenge with food if they're eating too much or they're not eating at all. I look into their life and I see what's happening and I try to understand how are they feeling. But there's a good chance that they're not getting food that nourishes their soul. These are things that you don't eat, but that make you feel amazing inside. And so for me, dancing is absolutely one of them. If you let me dance 5 hours straight, I'm not tired. I can give a cat. I am full of energy and alive. And so I want you to hold on to that concept that everything is food. And so just a little bit about me. Again, my name is Vanessa. I'm a single mom. I didn't want it to be that way, but you know, shit happens. I'm originally from New York, and that means I really love eating hamburgers and French fries. I love pizza, and I love bagels and cream cheese. So eating kale does not come naturally to me. So I'm not perfect, but I've really figured out a way of eating healthy, but also enjoying the things that I really love to eat. I want to tell you about the work that I'm doing for Juice Plus. So you saw me in the video working with the children. This all started about a year ago when I was working with Sebastian Gossler and Julia Ebner in the Basel office. I write the blogs for the magazine. And I'm not sure if you know about the blog, but if you go to juiceplus.com, underneath the experience section and to magazine, you have tons of articles about healthy living and how to make one simple change. And so if you don't know about it, please go and check it out. It's great to share, so please share it. And so we started about a year ago, and it just kind of led naturally, being that I'm a mom and I'm concerned about children's health, that I started to contribute to the Children's Health Study, and we did the video. So I share this because this was one of the most favorite moments during the video shooting. We did the shooting for 3 long days. It was 10 hours a day, working with children. Sometimes we had too much sun, and it was kind of challenging and exhausting for the kids. But this moment was the best. And it was because we were sitting there in this beautiful field with lots of green vegetables all around. We had the dirt right in front of us, and the kids were just digging in there, planting seeds, taking the seedlings out, pouring water, and they were so engaged. They had a sparkle in their eye, and they were really proud that they were putting something in the ground that would grow and eventually be their food. And what it did is it reminded me is that we're so disconnected from where our food comes from. We just go to the supermarket, we eat things from restaurants, and just somehow it magically ends up on our plate. But what if we did go a little bit back and get connected to nature again and really understand where that food comes from, how it absorbs the sun, how it grows, what love and care is put into that? I think it could be really different. So I just want to tell you about the Children's Health Study if you don't know how it works. I'm sure you do. But the way it works is you buy the adult portion and then the children get a portion for free. The amazing part is that the families get every single day 30 fruits and vegetables into their body. And the thing is that they have to commit for a year. So it's very important to say that this is a year commitment to take the product. And by the way, every few months, you have to fill out a questionnaire. And this questionnaire is very simple. It just takes 3 minutes to do. But the thing is, I find this so amazing as a health coach because these families are getting 30 fruits and vegetables into them every single day. Now, I don't know about you, but there's no way in hell that I'm going to a supermarket, buying 30 different fruits and vegetables, sitting there, chopping them up, preparing, cooking it, and then serving it to my son. There's no way it's happening. The best I could do is maybe 5 vegetables and fruits a day, and that's it. So I think that's pretty cool. The second thing that I find amazing about this study is the questionnaire and how it functions. Because the thing is, when we're busy in our normal, everyday life, we're not thinking. And a lot of times, we're not even aware of the food that goes in our bodies. And then we don't know how it works. A lot of people don't even know why they eat. First question I ask my clients is, why do you eat? And they go, I don't know, because I have to? And for me, I'm like, seriously? That's your energy source, man. How are you living if you don't know that? And so this questionnaire has the parents stop, slow down, and be mindful of what their family is consuming and how it impacts them. So I'm taking Juice Plus, I'm drinking more water, I'm getting the kids to be more active. How is this impacting us? Are we losing weight? Are we going less often to the doctor? Are my kids better able to concentrate on their homework? And so this slowing down and being mindful brings that connection and allows them to make better choices for themselves. And this alone is priceless. Oops, sorry. So just to talk about the results, 71% after 1 year consume less fast food and soft drinks. 89% are more aware of their health, 71% are drinking more water, and 61% are eating more fruits and vegetables. This is fantastic, because even if you started with nothing, you don't do anything healthy for yourself, Juice Plus is bringing you one step closer to a better way of living. And the other thing that I find amazing about this, right, because of that questionnaire and being aware of what's happening, right, so the parent is saying, look, we have to eat our fruits and vegetables, we have to drink water, we have to do more exercise. They're doing it, and then the kids are doing it, and they're creating this new lifestyle. But I have to tell you, the most important thing, or the biggest thing that I find with this, is by introducing children to nutrition at a young age, you give them the chance to not be obese. Do you know the obesity rates right now? In most countries, it's 40% of the children that are obese. 40%. This is hard. And the thing is that we don't have nutrition. We don't really learn it at home. We're just trying to make ends meet, get dinner on the table as fast as it can. It's really hard to think, am I getting the good stuff into my kids? But when you take a second and think about it, you can make a difference. As an auntie, an uncle, a mom, a dad, a big brother and sister, you can demonstrate by example and show them how to do it. I'm going to tell you a story about a girlfriend of mine who came to visit me from America. She stayed with me for 4 days, and then she went to Rome for 4 days, as you do. She went home. She greeted her 8-year-old daughter who was staying with her dad, and she realized that her daughter had gained 4 kilos while she was away. 4 kilos in a little bit over a week. How does that happen? It happens because we're not paying attention. We just want to make the kids happy. They get a nice smile on their face when they're eating some ice cream. And that's great. You can enjoy ice cream. But there has to be some limits. And the thing is that children don't know. They don't know any better. How can they know? And so it's really important. And that's why I love this. Because if you can teach them just to be aware of their bodies, you don't have to say, no, don't eat the sweets, but you can ask them, how does that feel? Do you like it? Are you getting energy? And really teach them how to be aware of themselves. So like I said before, we are in the same business. We want to get more fruits and vegetables into people. And one of the groups that I focus a lot on is moms. Because moms are quite often, I know dads do it too, but moms make a lot of decisions in terms of what we are eating and what the children are doing. So the number one thing is do not give advice and do not tell them what to do. Because let me tell you, moms already know what to do. If you say, oh, you just have to eat 5 fruits and vegetables a day. Yeah, no, duh, I know that already. Or if you want to lose weight, you have to go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. Yeah, great, thanks. But do you live in my life? Do you know how much stuff I have to do? And so when you're working with a mom and you're trying to build that relationship and that trust, the best thing you can do is to ask her questions. Ask her about her life. Really understand what's going on. And through the process of talking, very often, they can figure out where they're getting blocked. I'm going to tell you a funny story about a woman who I worked with in California, and we did everything on the telephone. And so she called me up and she said, look, I know what my problem is. Every day when I'm doing the bedtime routine with my kids, I sit in the hallway, I watch them get ready, I'm right by the snack closet. And she sits there for an hour and snacks the whole time while they're getting ready. And she knows it's awful. And she knows this is where all of her weight gain is coming from. And so the thing is, I could have said, oh, why don't you just try eating a carrot instead of the chocolate? Yeah, right. A carrot is going to do nothing. Or why don't you do some meditation instead of eating from the snack closet? Yeah, whatever. And so I stopped and I said, hey, what is going on during your day? Explain to me. What's your rhythm? And so it's the typical mommy routine. You get up, you make breakfast, you get the kids ready for school, get them out there, then you're doing your errands. She would have a great lunch, she would go to the gym, and she was really, really disciplined, doing everything right. Then she would go, she volunteered for her church, so she was giving her time. Then she would come home, she would get the kids doing their homework, get dinner on. Then at 7 o'clock, she would go upstairs, make love to her husband, and by 7:30, she was doing the bedtime routine with her children. And so I just had to giggle a little bit because at 7 o'clock, you go upstairs and make love to your husband? And she said, yeah, well, you know, he's a day trader, and he has to go to bed early because the market's open in New York, and so he has to get up early. It makes sense that we make love at 7 o'clock. And so I laughed and I said, well, I think it's really interesting that your husband is literally on your to-do list. And so she said, yeah, that's right. My next question for her, I said, I'm sorry, it's a little bit personal, but did you enjoy it with your husband? And she got quiet. She said, actually, no. No, because I was still thinking about all of the different things that I need to do before this day is done. And so I wasn't even present. My next question, out of all the things that you did today, was there any part of it that you enjoyed that really nourished you and make you happy? She also took a pause and said, no, I don't do anything for myself. And so then I knew her problem wasn't discipline. She had the discipline to do tons and tons of things. But that eating at night with the kids was the end of her day, the way that she was calming down, processing everything that was happening. And so for me to tell her to eat a carrot would do nothing. And so then I asked her, now that we've had this conversation, what do you think the most important thing to do for you to make this change, to feel better? And she said, I need to find out what I love to do. I need to find out what really nourishes me. I need to figure out how to make time for myself. Because all the carrots, all the vegetables in the world are not going to fix what's going on for her. And so I just want you to think about that when you're offering advice to your customers, your clients, people who you work with. Ask more questions and listen, and you'll really learn about what's going on. And so this is a personal story. I can't believe I'm going to share it with you, but I will, because it's a great example, because I'm not perfect. So I am a single mom. I have a lot to do. I have my own business, and I'm trying to make it work. I'm trying to get the best food I can into my son and to do everything the right way. And I started this habit. I don't know where it came from, but one night I had a glass of red wine, and I really enjoyed it. And it's not that there's anything wrong with a glass of red wine. It's a part of the Mediterranean diet. It does good things for the body, has antioxidants in it. It's no problem. But the thing is, over time, the one glass turned into 2, and then almost turned into 2.5. Because I was always saying, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. It's helping me get through that bedtime routine. Sound familiar, doesn't it? Because the thing is, I was trying to always get my son into bed because I had more work to do. I have things to get done. And what I realized is that while a glass of wine is harmless, it wasn't really working for me, because I would fall asleep really easily, and then I would wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would be awake for an hour or 2. And the next day, I would wake up, and I would be shot. I would be tired, because I didn't sleep. And you know what happens when you're tired? You start to crave things. You want sugar, you want coffee. And so I was starting to start to eat stuff, and old bad habits started coming back. And I was grouchy. And I'm sorry, but I don't think anybody wants to work with a grouchy health coach. So I called up my coach because you can't coach yourself. You have too many excuses and can get around it. So I called her up. I told her what was going on, and she said, "Great. What are you thinking at that time? What's going on in your mind when you want that glass of wine?" And I said, "Look, I am just really tired. I have a lot of things to do. I don't want to waste any time. I have my routine. Kai should be doing the right things. He should be, brushing his teeth, doing the book, getting to bed. All of these rules, all of the parenting books that I read, they all said that this is how it has to work, and this is the best thing for him. Because you know what? I just feel like I'm not doing it right. I'm not being the mother that I should be." And that really hurts. That hurts for me to say that. I'm not being the mother that I should be. And she said, "Great, who is this mother that you should be?" I said, "Well, you know what? I'm a coach. I should be sitting down with my son and doing special learning games. I should be sitting on the floor playing cards with him because that's what he wants me to do. But the thing is, when we're playing cards, I hate it. I hate it so much. I just want to poke myself in the eyes. I don't enjoy it. And I feel bad. I feel guilty because I'm not being the mother that I should be." So then she asked me the next question. "So Vanessa, what about the mother that you are?" And so if you were to take Vanessa and squeeze her out and really get the essence, the juice of what Vanessa is and who she is as a mom, what would that look like? And so this smacked me in the face because I really wasn't expecting it, because I just had this idea of who I needed to be, and I just wasn't there. I wasn't good enough. Well, guess what? The Vanessa that I am, the mom that I am, loves to pick up my son, pick him up and throw him on the bed and tickle him to death, put pillows on him, go outside, go swimming, play in the dirt, jump in muddy puddles. That's me. I'm physical. Playing these pretend games, it doesn't really work. And so in having this question, it made me realize that it takes so much energy for me to try to be somebody that I'm not. And guess what? I'm already good at being a mom. I'm already able to connect really well with my son, but just in my own way. And so I want to bring this to you now, okay? Because I am here for you as your coach. You all have your own business. Do you ever ask yourself, am I being the entrepreneur that I should be? Do you have high expectations from yourself? Do you see what other people are doing and say, "Oh, I should do it like he does"? Oh, look at her. She's doing really well. I need to be doing it like that, but I'm not doing it. It's not right for me. And I can tell you, as an entrepreneur myself, I always compared myself to other coaches. I said, I have to have a fantastic office. I have to meet 10 clients a day. I need to go out and do amazing webinars. And you know what? When I do webinars, I hate them. It just sucks all the life out of me. The best thing for me are live workshops, live presentations, hands-on, again, being present with people. And one of my favorite ways right now of generating business and new clients is hosting a movie night. I have a big loft apartment. I invite people to my place. I hire somebody else to cook because I'm not going to cook. I cook all week for my son. And then we watch an inspiring movie about cooking, about seasonal, about farms. And then after, we have a nice apéro, we eat good food, we talk. And just by me being passionate about what I do, just by me saying, yes, I love this, I love really good food, I love helping people feel great, I love helping people find their person and their passion again. I help them find why they wake up in the morning. Just by me sharing that with those people, maybe that woman, She won't be my client, but she's going to tell 5 other people about me and this amazing evening that I hosted with really good, like-minded people. And that's the best way I generate business. And you know what? It takes no energy from me. I feel alive after a night like that, and I don't have to do anything. It just comes like that. And so I urge you to think about your own business, right? When we're talking about being your best, it doesn't say be the best, right? It's your best. Squeeze you out. Because let me tell you, when you do it your way, when you make it truly your business, with your style, with your brand, there is no competition because nobody can be you. So I love this quote. When you're in your flow, you feel a river flowing through you, a joy. And I just want to recap for you my whole presentation, because I think when you do these 3 things, you will really truly be your best. And so the first thing is that food changes everything. Eat really good food. The second thing is that everything is food. Make sure everything that you do, the people you spend your time with, the environments that you are in, are pulling you forward and not holding you back. And the third thing is that you are unique. No one can do it the way you can. And so really hold on to that, and I promise you that you will be amazing. And so this is my last slide. I have a couple more things to say. Sorry. If you like what I'm talking about, please go see the magazine. I have articles there, as well as Ellen and Luke. We talk about how you can make the one simple change, and please share that on Facebook, share it on Twitter. We're really happy to get the word out. And then the next thing, I'm going to say this with a real New York kind of passion way, is that the world is a little bit fucked up right now. There is a lot of crazy shit going on. And you know what? I can't help but to think that if people just ate a little bit better, if they did some more exercise and shook off all of that yucky stress that we have to deal with every day, if they meditated a little bit more just to understand the fears that they have inside, and if they became more mindful of how important it is to be kind to one another, don't you think the world could be a better place? You see, the world needs us. The world needs us to help them heal. And I can't think of a better way to do that than to start with some really good food. And so my last thing I want to say to you is that the light shining in me sees the light shining in every single one of you. Thank you. And so now I'm going to introduce you the next video, which we'll now see. Thank you.
Los niños te copiarán, así que creo que es muy importante que nosotros como padres les demostremos cuánto nos gusta la fruta y la verdura. Si yo disfruto comiendo brócoli, mi hijo se va a sentar junto a mí a hacer lo mismo, por lo que cuanto más tiempo pasen tus hijos en la cocina, más se involucrarán en preparar la comida. y creo que van a disfrutarlo mucho más. Por lo tanto, te recomiendo que lo intentes, porque la comida importa.